Now we're at this little lovely park, Mortlake. Shit of a road getting here, but it's just such a beautiful park. 3 permanents and me as a guest. That's all that's here. Today's Sunday. The school is over the back there. Plenty of area to camp. That's your nice amenities there. And behind that is a little tiny camp kitchen and laundry. Now cop this. Out of all the area that we've travelled, that's your camp kitchen in there and the laundry. And out of all these places that we've travelled so far, this has got to be the best value little park of a lot of them. With your seniors discount, you get power, beautiful trees, shade if you need it. All these grounds, toilets, showers, and all that for just $20 a night. $20 a night. And free washing. No charge for washing or drying. Nil. Best valued place we have stayed. Is that right?
Pardon?
Best valued place we have stayed.
Yes, and the sun's shining and it's actually warm, which is weird. I don't know what this is.
And Mum's off the booze. Not having a bourbon today.
Well, it's only 2:30. It's a little early for me.
Yes.
So
All right.
I'll go and see what's going on up here in
All
the
right.
country.
All right, darling. Good on you. I'm on my second VB. Yes. So there you go. The sound of the western red-nosed plucker duck.
They're white.
Have a go how beautiful this little park is. Would you believe that a guy just caught a rainbow trout out of here? We're still in this little place called Mortlake. Loving it. The kids down there fishing. There's electric barbecues, everything. I don't know if you can see because of the sun, so I'm going to come back around this way. And that's where they caught the rainbow trout. Down across there. Electric barbecues, toilets, shower, skating rink for kids. Absolutely beautiful. And we're doing the walkway all the way around. Mortlake. Now that would be heaps of fun. There's nothing like a chopper ride. back in 5 minutes. And it's extremely windy here. And that's the pier at Geelong. We're at Geelong, Victoria. Victoria's biggest city outside of Melbourne. We'll go and check it out. Hello, little girl. Where's the music? I want the music. Where's the music? Hello, little girl. There she is again. This is another shot of the pier at Geelong. Nothing much to see, but if you go right out to the end of the pier there, you have a restaurant. But we really don't want to go to the restaurant. So that's the carousel down there where Mum had a ride. It's looking back over the marina. And up to the top of the lights where the pier is. And back down. Overlooking the harbour, and we're way over there where that helicopter took off from. So we're a fair way away. And as you can see, the clouds look pretty shitty. And that's Geelong. Very clever, eh, Elizabeth? Well, today is the 30th of September and we're here to watch the Aboriginals at their Narana Aboriginal Cultural Centre. And we're going to have a demonstration on dirt kicking and stick throw, Aboriginal dancing and boomerang throwing. There'll be a lesson on that, which will be very interesting. Well, let's see what's happening in here, okay?
No, we're not the hunters.
That's right, we're the campers.
I never thought of that.
That one was better. Off you go. The Aboriginal people used to use the leaves off this. It's really important that when you're grabbing it off though, you grab it from the root because you can get a really nasty paper cut. So what they would do, so, and I don't have nails because I bite them, which is bad, but
Stand up.
what they would do is they'd shred it.
Coming out. Because if they bite you, you'll puff off.
Shred it up, and so they'd keep shredding it into maybe 3 or 4, and they'd use this end as the needle because it's a lot easier to manoeuvre. So they'd tie it in the beginning, and it's, does anybody knit here?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's very similar to the basic finger knitting technique. So you go through like that, and you just keep going around and around, and eventually you can curve it around, and that's how you would make your mats and your baskets and things like that. But also you would use it to make ropes and fishing nets, eel nets, all that sort of thing. Mainly it was the women that would do the weaving, but everybody knew the basics, how to make nets and ropes for hunting and things like that. So when we go inside, I do have the beginning of a mat or a basket that one of the other ladies has done. Another thing that this produces is, if you look really closely in the plant, there's little tiny seeds in there. And so what we would do with those little seeds is we'd grind them up to make a flour, and that was how they'd made their damper, which is like bread. So it was really important that you'd wait until these were grown first, and then you'd harvest them off, and then you'd start using the leftover leaves for the basket because you wanted to make sure that you got all the uses out of it. And then once you use the leaves, you'd even dig down and grab the roots, and you could roast them up and eat them. So we had 3 uses out of them, and so we would grow that in crops, and then. Now I will give you all a little bit each to feed them, but you need to stand back a little bit. They're very friendly, but they get really excited and they're quite strong, so they can pull you right in. So make sure you're holding on to the leaf.
I can't have this. Oh my god. No, don't fight.
There's
Oh my god.
Fine, move back a bit.
Are they strong, boys?
Yes.
Let go of it. There. I remember
What about this poor dude up the back? Here, you come. Hey,
once with a no.
you're in the middle. Get some.
Gee, they strip it off quick, fellas.
I'm just gonna get my finger. There you go.
I can't have
There you
feet.
go.
They,
Oh.
what'd you drop it?
That'd be right. A bit further, Jack.
Hold it.
Oh, you're kidding.
Maybe flip that over. Flip it over.
Jack, go a step forward.
Flip it over the other way, and then that way.
Hold the other end.
It won't pull you in, darling. You got the wire.
Don't they like it?
Yeah.
Amy.
Get out, that was mine, you said.
So only just recently we've had 2 of the bigger male Emmys, sort of having a bit of a.
Just have it on.
This is beautiful Torquay Beach. Torquay, Victoria, Torquay, the start of the Great Ocean Road. Just having lunch in the park. Shut up, you fucking barking thing. Mum's over there in the park. Just finishing lunch. While I take a quick bit of vid. Yeah, so Torquay's the start of the Great Ocean Road, and it's only about 15 kilometres from where we are at Geelong. Beautiful beach indeed. Okay, it's Thursday the 29th of September. We've just arrived and set up because it's the long weekend in Victoria of October, it's going to be packed. So we've got our privacy screens up, and from where we are, just over the back of those trees is the amenities, and through this beautiful little area here from our caravan is this, and we'll go and have a look. Beautiful walk, and you can walk right out here at low tide because it's just sand flats, but I gather that high tide that would all be covered, I would say. And then from miles around you can hear them sound a little ukulele with a charm. There you go. Bit of blue sky for a change. Few mozzies here. I think I'll burn a coil. There is a few, and I think it's to do with all the rain. And I wouldn't mind betting there's some sandflies either. And there you go. Okay, today is the 1st of October. We're just showing you a shot here of the ocean directly out to sea. And we're at Inverloch. We have one more day left here, but what an awesome fishing spot this is. Straight into the ocean. That'd be a great fishing spot. Nothing like the sound of the ocean. Beautiful spot, Inverloch. Unfortunately, I won't be putting my line in here, which is a darn shame, isn't it? Because of the weather and running around looking at places. But that's life. Well, looks like a bit of sunshine again. And today is the 30th of September, the last day, Friday. And we've taken a trip down to Phillip Island. And we're here at the National Vietnam Veterans Museum. This is the national one. So we're going to have a look in here and see what we come up with.
Against communist insurgency in Asia was spreading. To protect its alliance with America, Australia sent a task force to Vietnam. Its mission was to destroy communist influence in Phuoc Tuy province. An SAS squadron would watch the back of this small outnumbered task force and try to locate the elusive VIC guerrillas for task force attack. SAS would also engage in counter-revolutionary warfare. Their strategy would be to make the jungle unsafe for the Viet Cong. SAS would use the guerrillas' own tactics against them.
On receiving the warning order that we were going on patrol, and that could occur anywhere between 1 and 4 or 5 days, on receiving that warning order you would cease shaving, showering, etc. You would wear the same clothes. So by the time you were ready to be deployed or inserted into the patrol area, you had lost any cosmetic or artificial fragrance whatsoever, so you fitted into the environment.
Living in the jungle is not necessarily the most pleasant experience. There were a fair number of poisonous snakes, ranging from cobras to bamboo vipers and a snake that's very similar to a death adder, scorpions, spiders. At night the snakes would come down out of the trees to hunt, out of the bamboo, and you'd hear them hit the ground in a series of dull flops.
The jungle had long been the VC's safe haven, but to SAS the jungle was neutral. SAS patrols became adept at camouflage. One trooper was hiding by a track, and a Viet Cong urinated on him without seeing him. He said later that communist urine and capitalist urine tasted the same.
We'd just been through a empty enemy camp, and it started raining heavily, and we stopped, and I heard someone cough, and I thought it was one of our guys, and I turned around to look, but in fact it wasn't. It was a VC walking towards me about 4 metres away. So I raised my rifle slowly, and we froze, and a little while later we counted about 40-odd VCs, all well-armed, fresh uniforms. I try not to make eye contact with any of the guys because you get a feeling you're being stared at. They might pick up on it, so I stared at their chest, which is where I was going to shoot anyway, so, and none of them looked up. I was a scout, because of my complexion and my grey and look about me, I guess that I used to dress up as an MBA or as the enemy, and therefore approaching tracks or camps or things like that, he used to send me in close to sort of do see what was going on, and of course if I was spotted, I could be seen as one of them.
SAS converted their rifles illegally to imitate the sound of a heavy machine gun. This often tricked the VC into thinking a small SAS patrol was a big force.
We took the flash hider off the end of it, which when we fired it created a flame that came out the end, probably the size of a large soup plate or dinner plate. The return spring was also modified so that it fired at a slower rate of fire.
This trick could also help SAS to vanish, when after firing a heavy fusillade, SAS would suddenly fall silent.
So the idea would be to shoot and scoot, to fade back into green. We may move quickly for about 20 or 30 metres, then we would slow down to a slow pace and listen and start patrolling very quietly and walking out of the area.
Of the UH-1 was in the service of the US Army during the Vietnam War. The original designation of HU-1 led to the September 1962, the designation was changed to UH-1, but Huey remained in common use. The later UH-1D could carry up to 15 people, including crew. During the war, over 7,000 UH-1s served in Vietnam, and of these, over 3,300 were destroyed. In total, 1,074 Huey pilots were killed, along with 1,103 other crew members. The Royal Australian Air Force deployed Iroquois helicopters to South Vietnam in mid-1966 in support of the 1st Australian Task Force. In this role, they were armed with single M60 door machine guns. In 1969, 4 of the RAAF's No. 9 Squadron's helicopters were converted to gunships, known as bushrangers, armed with 2 fixed forward-firing 7.62mm miniguns, one on each side, and a 7-round rocket pod on each side. Aircrew were armed with twin M60 machine gun flexible mounts in each door. UH-1 helicopters were used in many roles in support of Australian troops, including troop transport or slicks, medivacs or dust-offs, bushranger gunships or hogs for arms support, special forces insertions and extractions, general support and reconnaissance. The Huey has long been a symbol of US involvement in Southeast Asia in general and Vietnam in particular, and as a result of that conflict has become one of the world's most recognised helicopters. The Huey on display at this museum served as an RAAF bushranger in Vietnam and in the post-Vietnam period with the Australian Army as a general utility helicopter.
Well, here we go, boys. This is the Huey helicopter used in the Vietnam War to carry the troops around. It's a Bell UH Huey helicopter, and we had two gunners in here, a gunner on each side. One would sit in there, which is pretty dark, so we'll go around the other side and show you where the gunners are. Grandad has been in one of these, lifted up and put in the seat, and all that held you in on that seat was this strap. That's the strap there. That would go over the seat, which is there, and that's all that held you in to that helicopter. And of course all the troops would pile in here. They would sit along those chairs. And this is the seat that Grandad sat on, right at the front. The only thing that held you was that strap, as I said. There's the gunner's gun. And that's where they shot from the chopper back down to the Viet Cong on the ground. Beautiful machine. And these are the ones they got rid of as well, destroyed them at the end. So there you go, fellas. Well, we're here at Phillip Island. And we're going to do a tour of the circuit. Or it says circuit viewing rather. We'll go and check it out. Geez, what a lean over.
What's your postcode? What's Preston? 3-2. Then we're 3-2. It's the same number. I only say Preston and then I know.
That would be some thrill.
We've got Maserati car club on track today. Not quite sure, we don't get told exactly what they do. They've hired the circuit from us and they're doing their own thing. We might, when we go into the control tower, we might be able to find out a little bit more. But it's interesting when there's something on track because you get to Alright, I'll run through my brief little history for you. home of Australia's first Grand Prix circuit. I just need the dates. Originally it was a 6.5-mile track around the streets of Phillip Island. If you go into Cats where the Alice Centre is, that's where one of the original corners of the track was. So the first event was held in 1928 and it was an international Grand Prix for cars. At that time there was no bridge to Phillip Island, so everything that was used for the motor racing was brought onto the island by punt or barge, and they tended to do it from Stony Point rather than San Remo because that's closer to Melbourne. So that's all the cars, all their equipment, spare tyres, mechanical equipment, spectators, medical equipment, timing, everything was brought over and taken away. The reason they came to Phillip Island was because they were not allowed to race around the streets of Melbourne, so they thought they would sneak off to this little island and do their car racing. When you go into the history of motorsport, just before you go in, there is a picture of the first winner on someone's shoulders, a big black and white photo, and just in the corner you can see a policeman's hat. So the police were down here, but and they allowed them to use our roads. So motorsport was introduced in 1901 and the circuit expanded to be 12 miles long. It was dirt roads, and their only safety barriers were the street crossings. Track maintenance was what caused them to stop using our roads as their racetrack. In 1952, a group of local enthusiasts formed and what they did was they sold memberships to their club for £10 each, and they sold about 3,000 memberships. So with that club, they purchased this piece of land, and they decided to build They basically use a new completely motorbike and do sessions We also have BMW Audi. They will hire the circuit from us and do driver training. So you can do advanced driver training. We've got a big concrete skid pad that they wet and you learn
Oh, what an adrenaline!
We're allowed a certain number of days of 75 decibels.
Unbelievable.
95 decibels. This is probably up around 95. They're quite loud, these cars. An event such as MotoGP can reach 125 decibels. Louder than that, yeah. Yeah, you'd have more of it constantly, yeah. But they have
My goodness. How's that for deafening noise?
They're not going that fast, really, are they?
Got enough photos of cars coming down that road.
So you can see our bodies.
Oh, the old GTR, look at it. cars like that, they fly.
They're just for the track. So all these ones, you'll be able to see them as you drive home.
But your comprehensive insurance doesn't work here.
No.
Do you have to take out extra insurance?
Yeah. For the vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd have to have like a different insurance. But generally it's only like the sanctioning body licenses and your entry fee pays for your personal insurance.
Okay.
So if you've got injury, like the car's not covered, yeah. So that's your own expense.
Well, the sun is shining, that's something, but it sure is very, very windy. And we're here today to go down the state coal mine of Victoria, and it was established in 1909 and ran to 1968. There we go, let's go and check this place out.
Behind it to support the tunnel. So when they go stop under the town, then they come back and take the coal, but not to dig any more stone. They only dig out the coal by itself. So the thickness of the coal is only by the side. My shoulder will touch the floor and the other shoulder touch the roof, lying down 8 hours a day. When you get sick with one shoulder, you lie down the other shoulder. You've got a small shovel and this is where you wash it. It'll be hard. So I've said to the people,
Look, we say digging just the coal. So if is it just coal, pure coal though? Or is there a mixture of coal and stone?
well, sometimes where's the higher coal, maybe sometimes we've got a little bit of bend the stones in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you not be careful,
Yes.
because that, you never know what you put in, but the weight.
Yeah.
So you get fined after £100.
All right.
Under £100 you never get fined, but after £100 you pay fine to take your money off.
All right.
Anyway, when I told the people here before, I come here from Italy, up on the mountain, in 1949. When I come out here,
You go underground.
and I saw this, I said, shit, let's get out of here quick. But I never had the money. And I look, I go to the beach and look out, I said, I can't walk out of the water, so I stayed. But then when I got told the people, I got in love with a woman, I got married, they said, I'm still here. Anyway,
Still
I don't
here.
regret it.
How long has this been operating for, Lou?
This one here since 1960.
Okay.